What if a small Caribbean island was making a play to reroute global trade? Jamaica is pouring $80 million into a massive port expansion, a move that could challenge the dominance of the United States in its own backyard. This isn't just another construction project, it's a strategic showdown for control of Western trade routes. The big question is, who will come out on top? In the high-stakes game of global logistics, geography is everything. For centuries, the Caribbean has been the chessboard where empires competed for control. Today, a new game is being played. It's not about cannons and conquests, but about cranes and containers. Jamaica, an island nation of less than 3 million people, is positioning itself not just as a regional player, but as a critical hub in the entire global supply chain. This is the story of the Kingston Freeport Terminal's Westlands expansion project. It's an $80 million gamble that aims to do more than just add land and increase capacity. It's a calculated move to capitalize on major shifts in global shipping, attract the world's largest vessels, and offer a faster, more efficient alternative to the trade routes that have long favored the United States. This is a stealth expansion, a quiet but determined effort to shift economic power and cement Jamaica's place as a logistics leader for the 21st century. And in a region where geopolitical currents run as deep as the sea itself, this ambition is setting the stage for a new kind of Facedown, a battle for the future of trade in the Americas. To understand just how big Jamaica's move is, you have to understand the board. The Caribbean Sea isn't just turquoise water, it's one of the world's most critical maritime highways. It's a liquid crossroads connecting the economic powerhouses of North and South America and a vital gateway between the Atlantic and Pacific through the Panama Canal. For decades, the United States has been the undisputed heavyweight here, with its ports along the Gulf and East Coasts acting as the main destinations for goods moving through the region. This dominance was no accident. It's the result of huge investments, deep natural harbors, and a massive network of inland infrastructure, railways and highways that carry goods deep into the American heartland. Historically, any cargo that moved through the Caribbean was either heading to or controlled by interests tied to the U.S. market. But the tectonic plates of global trade are shifting. The expansion of the Panama Canal, finished in 2016, was a game-changer. It opened the floodgates for a new class of giant container ships, the Neo-Panamax vessels, which are just too big for many older ports. This created a huge opportunity. The first port that could efficiently handle these behemoths, offering a place to offload, sort, and reload cargo for distribution across the Americas, would gain a massive strategic advantage. This is where the idea of a transshipment hub is so important. Think of a transshipment port like a major international airport for cargo. A huge ship arrives from Asia, and instead of making a long, expensive journey to multiple smaller ports, it unloads its thousands of containers. Those containers are then quickly sorted and loaded onto smaller feeder vessels that spread out to their final destinations, whether that's Miami, Houston, or cities in South and Central America. The hub becomes the heart, pumping the lifeblood of commerce through the entire region. Jamaica's geographical position is, in a word, perfect. It sits almost directly on the main north-south and east-west shipping lanes. For a ship coming out of the expanded Panama Canal, Kingston is one of the most logical and efficient first stops, requiring very little deviation. A vessel can get to Kingston from the canal in just 2 days, and from Kingston, it's another 2 days to Miami. This strategic location has always been Jamaica's untapped superpower, and now, with the Westlands expansion, the nation is finally making its move to fully use it. This isn't just about competing, it's about redefining the flow of trade by creating a new center of gravity in a system long dominated by its northern neighbor. The global supply chain is supposed to be a finely tuned machine, but in recent years it's been showing signs of serious strain. The explosion in global trade, combined with unexpected disruptions, has created bottlenecks at major ports all over the world. Congestion has become the new normal, with ships waiting for days, sometimes weeks, just to unload. This waiting game is incredibly expensive. It burns fuel, delays deliveries, and drives up prices for all of us. Caribbean ports in particular have struggled. Many are crammed into small spaces with no room to expand, and their operational efficiency hasn't always kept up with global standards. According to UNCTAD, port handling charges in the Caribbean can be 2 to 3 times higher than in similar ports elsewhere, held back by inefficiency and a lack of infrastructure. This makes the whole region less competitive. The Panama Canal expansion, while a huge opportunity, was also a challenge. Bigger ships mean more cargo arriving all at once, putting immense pressure on port infrastructure. A port that can't handle a sudden surge of tens of thousands of containers from a single ship risks becoming obsolete. Shipping lines, driven by the brutal logic of efficiency, will simply bypass slower, congested ports for ones that can promise a quick turnaround. This is the very problem Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, KFTL, was facing. Since its concession agreement started in 2016, cargo volumes have skyrocketed by an incredible 58%. While productivity improved to meet global benchmarks, the port's physical limits were becoming a serious problem. Without more space, Kingston was about to hit a wall. It couldn't handle the cargo that was already going elsewhere due to a lack of capacity, and it was missing out on new business from shipping lines hunting for a reliable Caribbean hub. As Prime Minister Andrew Holness noted, without enough land to grow, even the most efficient ports can become trapped and uncompetitive. The choice was simple: invest and expand, or watch as rivals in the Bahamas, Panama, and even the US grab the profitable transshipment traffic from the new, larger vessels. Relying on the old, strained trade routes was a weakness. A new, hyper-efficient, and perfectly located alternative was needed. The $80 million Westlands expansion project is Jamaica's answer, a direct attempt to solve the regional congestion crisis and offer a powerful solution to global shipping lines. So, what exactly does an $80 million port expansion buy you? The Westlands expansion project is a massive feat of engineering and logistics. This isn't just about paving some new land, it's about building a state-of-the-art logistics machine from the ground up. The heart of the project is the addition of 15 hectares of new land directly to the port. To give you some perspective, that's about the size of 37 American football fields. This will boost the terminal's storage capacity by over 25%, a critical number in the world of container shipping. All that extra space will allow the port to handle an estimated 600,000 more TEUs, the standard 20-foot container measurement, every year. But creating this land is a monumental task. The land preparation phase involves moving more than 730,000 cubic meters of soil. To help you visualize that, the CEO of KFTL, Captain Jedrzej Mierzewski, explained that if you were to fill Jamaica's national stadium to the very top with this soil, you'd still have some left over. And it's not just about moving dirt, it involves soil strengthening to support the immense weight of stacked containers and heavy machinery, plus installing advanced drainage systems to prevent flooding, a serious concern in a region known for heavy rains and hurricanes. Beyond the land itself, the project is a huge tech upgrade. It includes a new, highly automated domestic cargo gate system designed to slash the time it takes to process cargo. This will dramatically reduce truck turnaround times and ease traffic congestion around the port. For businesses, that means getting their goods faster and more reliably. The expansion also brings in new, advanced equipment. New ship-to-shore cranes will be installed, big enough to service the largest vessels that can fit through the Panama Canal. The terminal is also getting 14 new hybrid straddle carriers, which are more fuel-efficient and better for the environment, to move containers around the yard. Upgrades to high-efficiency LED lighting will improve safety and shrink the port's carbon footprint. This project isn't happening in a bubble. It's part of a bigger strategy that includes major logistical changes to the whole area. To smoothly integrate the new land, the project involves the ambitious rerouting of a major road, Marcus Garvey Drive, and even the complete relocation of the nearby Tinson Pen Aerodrome. These moves are designed to ensure the Port of Kingston has room to grow for decades to come. This isn't just an expansion, it's a complete reimagining of Kingston's logistics landscape. An $80 million price tag isn't just for concrete and steel, it's an investment in a nation's economic future. The ripple effects of the Westlands expansion are designed to spread far beyond the port itself, touching almost every part of the Jamaican economy. The most immediate impact is jobs. This is a labor-intensive project set to employ and train over 450 Jamaicans in construction and land preparation. But the long-term vision is even bigger. The expansion will require around 600 new, highly skilled operators to run the new equipment and automated systems. This is where the project goes beyond simple construction and starts building careers. KFTL has a history of investing in its people. Some Jamaican operators have been trained internationally and were even sent to Nigeria to train operators there, which shows the high level of skill being developed. For Jamaica, becoming a top-tier logistics hub is about more than just moving boxes. It's about creating an entire ecosystem of economic activity. An efficient port attracts investment. It makes the country a more appealing place for manufacturing, assembly, and distribution. Businesses can import raw materials, add value within Jamaica's special economic zones, and then export finished products to the rest of the world with incredible speed. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been clear that this expansion is a strategic move to position Jamaica as a global logistics leader. The goal is to transform the island into the fourth major node of global logistics, joining the ranks of Singapore, Dubai, and Rotterdam. In 2023, Kingston was already ranked by the prestigious Lloyd's List as one of the top 10 fastest-growing container terminals in the world, a clear sign of its growing importance. The Westlands expansion will build on that momentum. Professor Gordon Shirley, president of the Port Authority of Jamaica, emphasized that the added capacity will allow Kingston to handle cargo that is currently bypassing the island and attract brand new business from other shipping lines. This improved competitiveness doesn't just help the port, it boosts regional trade, positioning Jamaica as the commercial heart of the Caribbean. It's a vision of a future where Jamaica is not just a tourist destination, but a critical hub for global commerce that drives growth and opportunity for its people for decades. Let's be clear. This expansion is a direct challenge to the way things are. While it's presented in the language of economic development, the Westlands project is absolutely a geopolitical move. By creating a hyper-efficient, high-capacity transshipment hub right at the crossroads of major trade routes, Jamaica is positioning itself as a powerful alternative to the shipping patterns that have long favored U.S. ports. Think of it as a strategic face-down in logistics. For decades, a huge amount of cargo heading for the Americas would first land in a U.S. port like Miami or Houston before being sent out again. This system gave the United States tremendous control over regional trade and brought a lot of money into its port cities. Jamaica's plan is to intercept that flow. A shipping line with a massive Neo-Panamax vessel leaving Asia can now sail to Kingston, quickly offload thousands of containers for different markets and immediately head back for another load. Meanwhile, smaller, more nimble feeder ships can quickly shuttle those containers to their final destinations, including U.S. ports. This model can save shipping companies a fortune in time and money. The biggest ships are most efficient on long point-to-point journeys, and Jamaica is offering to perfect that model in the Caribbean. This creates direct competition. A container that is transshipped in Kingston is a container that is not being transshipped in Miami. It's a subtle but significant rerouting of trade and a shift in economic influence. The U.S. is well aware of these dynamics. The Caribbean is often called America's backyard, and its sea lanes are considered vital to national security and economic interests. A report from the U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission noted that China has long seen the Caribbean as strategically important because of its proximity to the United States and major maritime trade routes. While the KFTL expansion is a partnership with the French shipping giant CMA-CGM, Washington closely watches the strategic implications of any major infrastructure project in the region. There are already signs of this geopolitical chess match playing out. The U.S. has been increasing its diplomatic and financial engagement in the region, with initiatives aimed at infrastructure and security. These moves are often seen as a way to counterbalance growing influence from other global powers. Jamaica's port expansion, then, isn't just a business deal. It's a statement of economic independence and a bid for a bigger role on the world stage. It's a bet that a small island nation can use its geography and smart investments to reshape the economic map of the Western Hemisphere. The Facedown isn't hostile, but it is very, very real. It's a competition for efficiency, for cargo, and for the future of trade in the Americas. But a project this big is loaded with risks. The path to becoming a global logistics hub is full of potential pitfalls, and the success of the Westlands expansion is anything but guaranteed. The logistical hurdles alone are enormous. The plan to reroute Marcus Garvey Boulevard, a major traffic artery in Kingston, and to physically move the entire Tinson Pen Aerodrome is incredibly complex. These are massive public works projects on their own, requiring perfect planning and execution. Any delays or cost overruns could ripple outwards, preventing the port from using its new capacity. Then there's the execution risk of the expansion itself. The engineering is complex, from strengthening the soil to handle modern port operations to installing sophisticated new automation systems. While the partners, the Port Authority of Jamaica and KFTL, a subsidiary of the shipping giant CMA-CGM, have a strong track record, an $80 million project leaves very little room for error. The timeline is aggressive, with the goal of starting construction right away and getting the new area up and running as fast as possible. Perhaps the biggest unknown is how competitors will react. The world of port operations is a cutthroat business. Rival ports in the Caribbean, like Freeport in the Bahamas and hubs in Panama and Colombia, aren't just standing by. They're also investing and upgrading to attract the very same Neo-Panamax ships. On top of that, ports on the U.S. East and Gulf coasts have been dredging their channels and expanding their own facilities specifically to avoid being bypassed by hubs like Kingston. They will definitely fight to keep their market share, maybe by offering better prices or more services. Finally, there are the broader economic and geopolitical risks. Global trade is famously volatile, subject to recessions, trade wars, and random events that can snarl supply chains, as we've seen in recent years. A global recession could crush shipping demand, while rising geopolitical tensions could reroute trade for political reasons instead of economic ones. Jamaica is making a huge bet on a future of growing global trade and on its ability to navigate the rough seas of international competition. The stakes are incredibly high. If it works, the project could secure Jamaica's prosperity for a generation. If it fails, it could become a very costly lesson in the harsh realities of the global logistics game. The Westlands expansion project is more than 15 hectares of new land. It represents Jamaica's ambition to redefine its economic future. With $80 million invested and 730,000 cubic meters of soil moved, the project transforms Kingston Freeport Terminal into a world-class hub ready for the largest ships. It positions Jamaica as a serious competitor to long-established ports, aiming to reroute billions in trade and create thousands of jobs. Though risks remain, logistical hurdles and global competition, the potential reward is transformative. Jamaica could shift from the edge of global trade to its very center. But is this bold gamble worth it?